Hello, WrestlePro fans. I am longtime independent wrestling fan Robert. 100. WrestlePro's 100th show is in the history books, and what a historic, great night occasion it was. We had some pre-show matches to start the night. As first we saw Max St. Giovanni covering by his brother LSG. Max defeated the Halifax Headhunter Skylar Mack. Then in a six-man tag team action, we had El Magnifico, Brian Rosario, and Wavy Will Wolfen, say that 3 times fast, as they did battle with Joe Clean, Stevie J, and Brandon Downey. Now the funny thing was, Joe Clean is dressed like Mr. Clean from the cleaning products, and yes, they came out. That entrance music happens to be the jingle for the Mr. Clean commercials. Pfft, only in WrestlePro, I guess. But the team of Joe Clean, Stevie J, Brandon Downey defeated El Magnifico, Brian Rosario, and Wavy Will Wolfen to win the matchup to, no pun intended, clean house. And they were like these invisible wipes that Clean, I think, gave out to some of the people in the crowd. Then the main show began, as first we saw Mr. WrestlePro himself, the Buzzkiller, Pat Buck, take on the Bad Apple, Matt McIntosh, which was actually also the very first match of the first ever WrestlePro show back in 2016. Good matchup by these two men. McIntosh, of course, has been with WrestlePro from the beginning, so he's pretty much a staple in the promotion. McIntosh hits Buck with a springboard ace crusher, and I don't know if something went wrong, the referee had made a 3 count, or if Buck was supposed to kick out, or he had gotten hurt, and then the referee called for the bell, and Matt McIntosh was declared the winner. And he didn't take the microphone, but he says to the crowd, if it wasn't for Pat Buck, WrestlePro wouldn't be here. And of course you can't hear him with the crowd making noise and stuff, and he doesn't have the microphone. Next up in singles competition, we see All Gas and No Brakes Trax, TRAXX, do battle with the Captain, Sean Dean. Enjoyable matchup these two put on, and the Captain, Sean Dean, defeated All Gas and No Brakes Trax. Next, in a 4-way matchup, we saw the Savage Gentleman, Victor Benjamin, Colton Charles, and Justin Carino challenge Falaba for the WrestlePro Alaska Frontier Champion. Frontier, not Frontier. Frontier, 2 separate words, Tier Championship. During the matchup, out comes Dark STG, and I don't know who that man is that comes to the ring with him. And he tried to spook Falaba, much like he did at Back to Brooklyn last month. But Falaba knocked Dark STG off the apron, but eventually Justin Carino took advantage, and STG nailed Falaba with the referee not looking, and Justin Carino defeated Falaba, Savage Gentleman, Victor Benjamin, and Colton Charles to become the new WrestlePro Alaska Frontier Champion. Next up, in a very good singles match, we saw seasoned veteran, but timeless Crowbar do battle with the Dominican Destroyer, Vargas. Unless I'm mistaken, Vargas came into this match undefeated, and these two really had quite a brawl on the outside on the floor, and they did very good. I forgot how, but the Dominican Destroyer Vargas defeated the Timeless Crowbar to win the matchup, and I believe he's still undefeated. And next, in another singles matchup, we see Yusufer L, who's always coming to the rings a different way instead of coming through the curtain, as he did battle with AEW's Josh Woods. Pretty good match these two guys had, and I don't know what kind of character Yusufa L is. It's like, if you remember, if folks don't remember, if you remember the Barbarian circa 1990 to 92 meets the Berserker, which was John Nord, 1991 to 92. That's what I guess. That's like the two characters are kind of blended together based on the gear. The only difference is the face paint and whatever that is. Yusufa L blows or breathes into. I don't know what that is. But we had a good matchup which saw Josh Woods defeat Yusufa L. Next up was a six-way matchup as we saw Tyler Payne versus Action Andretti versus the Silver Sniper TJ Crawford versus the Phoenix. Good. Versus the Phoenix GKM versus the world famous Cheeseburger versus AEW Kip Sabian. I don't know if he's still with AEW or not. In a six-way matchup, which saw TJ Crawford defeat Tyler Payne, Action Andretti, the Phoenix GKM, Cheeseburger, and Kip Sabian in a very good matchup. By the way, for those who are wondering, the Tyler Payne who competed in this match, that is not the same Tyler Payne from NYWC in their early years. And as far as this particular Tyler Payne that's in WrestlePro, I got to say, hashtag not the Tyler Payne I know. Next, in a bit of a botchamania moment, ring announcer Ryan Peters announces the crowd the next match for the Tag Team Championship, and the SAT was set to challenge the Iron... whatever that shit, I don't know what that shit is that stinks around here. The SAT music was playing, but then the music stopped, and Ryan Peterson... stand is corrected. Oh, God. And instead we had a triple threat match, which saw the most professional wrestler, Brian Myers, face Dante Martin versus Wheeler Yuta. And Wheeler Yuta defeated Brian Myers and Dante Martin to win the matchup. Then it was time for the Tag Team Championship as Jose and Joel Maximo, my fellow Brooklynites, the SAT, do battle with the Iron Savages, Bronson and Boulder, for the WrestlePro Tag Team Championship. A very good match these two teams had. In the SAT, they did hit the Spanish Fly on Bronson, and I forgot what double team move that double team move the Savages do, where Bronson's on Boulder's shoulders and Boulder drops Bronson on a prone opponent. The SAT, well, that didn't end the match. I don't know if he really kicked out or not, but it didn't end the match. I forgot how it ended, but the Iron Savages defeated the SAT to retain the tag team title. Next up was a return bout which opened up where Brooklyn at last month, as we saw the Bayonne Badass Dan Moff challenge LSG, accompanied by his brother Max St. Giovanni, for the interim gold championship. I don't know why he's the interim gold, going in he was the interim gold champion, but why are we using the word interim? I mean, interim gold champion, yeah, but interim gold championship? That doesn't quite work for me. Good matchup the Moff and LSG had. LSG eventually won the match by doing a springboard forearm off the second rope, pinning Moff, and after the match they embraced. Moff held the ropes open for LSG, and just as Max was trying to get out of the ring, Moff grabs him, gives him the burning hammer, and LSG comes back in the ring, and Moff eventually, basically, looks like Dan Moff has become a heel again in WrestlePro. Next up was history in the making, as we had the finals, the tournament final to crown WrestlePro's first ever women's champion, as we saw Australian Lena Cross take on Lady Frost. I won't say that 3 times fast. Good matchup these two ladies had. It really got good as the match went on, and so many ladies were doing everything they can, and they were kicking out of everything they were hitting each other with. And eventually Lady Frost pinned Lena Cross to become WrestlePro's first ever women's champion. At that point, they took a short intermission to set the ring up for the barbed wire matchup. Throughout the night, there were video packages. We saw Joey Janela, Jay Lethal, Anthony Bowens, Tommy Dreamer, MJF, Matt Cardona. I forgot if there's any other videos I may have missed of people congratulating WrestlePro on making 100 shows. Uh, yeah, let's see.
North Elizabeth Station will be next. Once again, North Elizabeth Station will be next. Thank you for North Elizabeth. You must be the first door cars.
Okay. Then it was time for the main event as we saw the Messiah of Old School, Sean Donovan, do battle with CPA. So much. There was like so much. They took the ropes down for this, by the way, and put barbed wire up. And they had barbed wire boards and set up in the corner. There was a barbed wire door was brought into play. There was a chair wrapped in barbed wire. A ladder brought in. CPA took off one shirt and tie, had another one on. He eventually took the other shirt and tie off. He had a flannel shirt a la Mick Foley, which he eventually took that off too. I forgot who, but somebody bumped into referee Stephen Dumeng, and I think another referee came out, and CPA didn't realize it was the other referee. He gave a Death Valley driver to him and even tried to pin him. Eventually, the Rat Bastards, I forgot their individual names, they come out, they're going after CPA, but then out comes first WWE Tough Enough winner Maven, or I call him Fakin. He comes out, and he hits the ring, and he tells the Rat Bastards, hey, I'm with you guys. Maven takes a hold of a chair, but he attacks the Rat Bastards with it, takes his hoodie off, and he's got a striped shirt on. He refereed the match until it ended, and I believe CPA, he put Donovan through the barbed wire door that was set up on 4 chairs, and he pinned him to win the match. I could be wrong if he didn't, if Donovan had kicked out of that, but I know CPA got the victory, and great way for WrestlePro to cap off their 100th show. Personal notes. It was great seeing. Okay, it was great seeing ring announcer Ryan Peterson. Welcome back to the WrestlePro Sign Girls. I haven't seen both of them in a long time. I don't know if one of them left before the show ended. Michelino's Pizza, which is on East Milton Avenue by Rahway train station. I went to eat there before the show, and and there was a few other wrestling fans who showed up to get some food. Another customer came in. He said he had known Jay Lethal since he was a kid, although Lethal was not announced for this very show. But Lethal, for those who don't know, grew up in Elizabeth, New Jersey, which is like 2 towns away from Rahway. Also, they had on the very door when I arrived, they had a flyer for WrestlePro 100 on the door. All right. All right. The only memorable quote I can really remember. No, that's not it. Here it is. Now it's a show. Now it's a show. Put that in your quotes. Ryan Peterson, when he saw me before I went inside the room to go find a seat, I noticed in the crowd there was a particular grade A ham, or as the song says, somebody that I used to know. No, I'm not referring to a lady, folks. But one thing I do have to address regarding this event, they may want to put an extra piece of guardrail by the entrance. There were so many kids on each side, and they were told numerous times to move back, and they weren't listening. One person was kind enough to bring them chairs. I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's like somebody. If only Super Nanny Joe Frost could have seen that. You know, she would definitely put all of them in their proverbial naughty spot. Okay, but you know, it just isn't right. And thank goodness I didn't use my megaphone, speaking through my megaphone too much, because those kids would have been all over it. Okay. Well, WrestlePro will be returning to Rahway. I don't know if this is official or not, because it was mentioned on Facebook when they announced that Powerhouse Hobbs could not make this show. But they'll be returning to Rahway, New Jersey in the new year, Saturday night, February 4th. I take it WrestlePro is not going to be running in December or in January. But what I would like to see when WrestlePro comes back to Rahway, I would like to see a return bout between Dan Moffat and LSG for the Gold Championship. Would like to see Falaba one-on-one with Dark STG. I don't know, with the Iron Savages wrestling so many teams from over the years. They just beat SAT. Last month at where Brooklyn at, they beat the Carnage Crew. I don't know what other team from long ago they may end up facing, unless there's some teams. And unless I'm wrong, the Iron Savages, they've held the tag titles for a year, maybe longer. Another factor, unless I'm mistaken, the Dominican Destroyer Vargas still has not cashed in that on-the-spot title shot medallion that he won back in February of this year. I mean, I don't know if he's gonna finally cash it in. I mean, I don't know what's going on there. Has that whole thing been dropped? My goodness. But hopefully, I think something should be done. Hopefully something will be done with that, and definitely give Vargas a worthy competitor to face. Hopefully Powerhouse Hobbs will be at that next event. Kudos to Kevin Matthews reaching out to me when I had difficulty purchasing a ticket online. I kept saying try again when I tried to buy it, pay online for a ticket, but he was kind enough to save me one at the door where I was able to pay for it right then and there. I guess there were like other shows happening throughout New Jersey on this night, so that's probably why I was hoping more people would have come to this event. But WrestlePro, you did great. As you said, 100 shows is a milestone for any wrestling promotion out there. And hats off to you. And I definitely look forward to seeing more WrestlePro in 2023. WrestlePro, 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 WrestlePro.